محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. Now, Bab al-Khuluq is Bab 80 of the or section 80 of the Risala Qushayriya. And Allah Azza wa Jal praised Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. You have a great moral characters, great characters in every aspect. So he was the high characters of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was known since he was a child, since he was running around and things. He was so polite, so truthful, so kind, so caring. He doesn't criticize anyone. He nobody heard him criticizing or swearing on anybody. He never hit a woman, a child, or a slave, or anybody. So he never said to anybody, why did you do this or why didn't you do that? So he will ask a person, do this. If he does it, does it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. And he will wait. He will give time. So it is the great character, is the evidence that you are a holy person. I was in a wedding, and somebody came and spoke to me because, and I said, do you know me before? He said, no, I noticed that you are a holy person. How did he know? I didn't know. But people spot, like, you're behaving. You're like, one of our psychologists left the job, took another job. So I gave her a card, and she was so pleased with the card, and she wrote back to me. She said, I've never met anyone who was so, like, kind to us and things. And they sometimes abuse my kindness. They come and put more cases on my, can you see this patient? So I asked them once, I said, why you ask me to see somebody else's patients? He might get upset. I said, no, because you get things done. You get things done. He just throws right, left, and center. So it will show. Don't worry. If you are, a Muslim behaving well, it will show. They might not say it to you in the job, but they might say it, outside and things. I had a few people phone me after I retired, and nurses were working with us. So the Prophet ﷺ said, and Anas radiallahu anhu, that he was asked, Ayyul mu'minina afdal, who is the best of the believers? And he said, the one who is best in characters, the one who has the highest moral values, he will be the best. He didn't say the one who pray a lot or fast a lot. There's another hadith. They talked about a lady. They said to the Prophet ﷺ, this lady, she pray and fast and gives zakah, but she hurt her neighbors. He said she's in hellfire. They said, but she fasts and pray and pay her zakah and give charity, but she hurt her neighbors. He said she's in hellfire. So al-Muslimu, the hadith, man salima al-Muslimuna min lisanihi wa yadihi, some hadith and nas. The Muslim is the one who the people are free from his tongue. They're not hurt by his tongue or his hand. Al-Mu'min, the Mu'min, ma'aminahu an-nasu ala amwalihim wa aradihim. The Mu'min, the true believer, the one who people trust him with their money and their honors. Al-Muhajir, the immigrant, the one who immigrated from things Allah forbidden. Man hajara ma naha Allahu anhu. So his definition, the characters, is not actually by how many ruk'ahs prayed or which row you prayed and things. One of the scholars was keen that always pray in the front row. Not scholars, one of the worshipper. He was very, and then he was early, missed the first row, and he was really upset. Then I remembered, me showing off by coming to pray in the front row for so many years. So he started, correcting himself. Some people used to come in Syria, put the prayer mats in the front row. That's my place. That's forbidden. There's a hadith about it that you can't book. So Abu Ali al-Daqqaq, who was the teacher of al-Qushayri, that he's saying that Allah Azza wa Jal, he is singled out Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with this ayah, that you verily of a high moral characters, you really of high moral values. And al-Wasiti وصفه بالخلق العظيم لأنه جاد بالكونين, جاد بالكونين. Allah Azza wa Jal gave him that title because he wasn't keen to get this dunya or the akhirah. I just want to please Allah Azza wa Jal. because when he came back from Taif after they hit him and blade and things, and he said to Allah Azza wa Jal, إن لم يكن بك غضب علي فلا أبالي. If you're not angry with me, it doesn't matter. Hurt, bleed, starve, chase, whatever. Providing you're not angry with me. He didn't say, please take me to Jannah. He just want to please Allah Azza wa Jal. So he gave up the two words, this word, the next word. He's not. And Rabi al-Adawiyya was known, pious lady. She said, if I'm worshipping you, Allah, for Jannah, so take me to hellfire. I'm worshipping you for you, not for your Jannah even. Because if you are with Allah Azza wa Jalla, Allah never perish, never die. Jannah might go. Allah might decide, we'll finish Jannah, don't need Jannah. And Al-Wasiti said, Al-Khuluq al-Azim, you will have high characters when you don't argue with people and people don't argue with you. You don't make enemies and people don't make you their enemies. So you gave up on this dunya. There's nothing to fight people for. And he's not actually taking people's right or things. And so there's no place for you. Somebody, you want the place? Yeah, okay, take it. You want it? All right, take it. Is it? Yeah, yours, take it. I mean, we had some argument in Solihull. I mean, Brother Arif, probably you were around. You went down SMC, take it. You want the school, take it. We just left, We want the bank account, take the bank account. Even the new ones, this hub things. You want load lane, take load lane. They gave you your 1,000, or you took it back. Yeah, I collected the money mostly from my friends, 10,000, and then take it. Subhanallah, they took load lane. Allah gave us Swallow's Meadow. We bought the house, and alhamdulillah. So take it. Dunya, fame, beer, the name beer. The study circle, we used to have it in St. Peter's. The study circle, I came to the study circle and they brought a guy to give the study circle. Came to Friday prayer, they put two bouncers. You're not allowed in. So we prayed on the grass outside. Take it, But the manager at that time, she saw the pictures that we were praying in the grass, and I myself, hired it. So he said, no, only you can, and in your name, it's not in any association. Why? Well, give it, take whatever you want, take the money, take this, take that. So you will still have enemies, but at least the problem I noticed that when somebody fights you and you fight back, you answer, what you say could reach there totally different. But the fact that you said something, if you didn't say anything, you don't know what they will say, so they can twist your words. But if you don't say anything, then you are safe. Yeah. So don't answer back because they will twist. And many of the things politicians, they catch each other because they say something and they twist it. They give it a meaning of their own, or they add to it, or they dig into the bottom. Oh, you meant this and you meant that. So لا يخاصم ولا يخاصم. He doesn't argue, and the people will not argue with him because he's not getting anything. He will leave everything, Like when the Prophet ﷺ he won the Hunayn war, and Safwan ibn Umayya came to him and said, who's that valley full of camels and cows and things? You like it? He said, okay, yours. So he went to all his people, became Muslim. Because he said, آمنوا فإن محمدا يعطي من أعطاه من لا يخاف الفقر. Allah gave Muhammad, he said to them, believe, because Muhammad gives as poverty, never heard of it. There will be nothing called poverty. So this is, you will like it, take it. You like it, take it. And so Al-Hussein ibn Mansur said, وَلَمْ يُؤْثَرْ فِيكَ جَفَاءُ الْخَلْقِ بَعْدَ مُطَالَعَتِكَ الْحَقِّ. You don't abandon people, you don't be rude to people after you are with Allah. You're not going to abandon people or be rude to them. Or, somebody caused so many troubles to us, and then he came playing with us in Sharifam. Then he came out. He said, "Are you angry with me?" He said, "No, have you done anything wrong?" He said, "No." He said, "No." I said, "Why is to be angry with you?" He knows he's done many things wrong. I know, but I don't want to say yes. You have done anything wrong, because he'll start argument. No, I didn't do. Then get nowhere. No, I mean, no, I'm not. Subhanallah. I'm not the best, but at least being safe from people's tongue and things. And Abu Sa'id Kharaz said, the one who have his only worry as interest is Allah Azza wa Jal. That's what he worry about. Is Allah happy with me or not? Al-Kattani said that tasawwuf khuluq. If you are to be Sufi, it's your khuluq has to be correct. If your khuluq is your characters are bad, your moral characters, then you're not Sufi. That's what you say. And then he said, "Man zad alayka bil khuluq, faqad zad alayka bil tasawwuf." The one whose moral characters are higher than you is better for you in tasawwuf. And يقولوا عن ابن عمر رضي الله عنه قال: إذا سمعتموني أقول لمملوك أخزاه الله فاشهدوا أنه حر. If you hear me criticizing a slave, I say to him, Allah curse you, he is free. From that minute he is free. Even if I don't remember that I said it, you remind me that he's free now because you said that. And Al-Fudayl ibn Iyad, he said, لو أن العبد أحسن الإحسان كله, if the person, the servant, has been really good, and he had a chicken, and he was abusing the chicken, then he's not one of the generous one, not one of the muhsinin. So you can't. So I was talking to my grandson, he took off his shoes and his foot. And he said one of the scholars was, threw his shoes, and he heard that the shoe saying, "You hated me. You hate me. I hate you. So why to throw it? Just put it." You could hit, a child running, or you hit the vase, your mom, you break it. The children have to modify their behavior, because the risk is too high sometimes, if they don't take care of being really kind. And كان ابن عمر رضي الله عنه إذا رأى واحد من يحسن الصلاة, وابن عمر, if he sees somebody praying really good, he will free him. Okay, you're free. Because at that time there were so many slaves. They used to have like 20-30 slaves under their control, because no prison, and they don't have money to free themselves, and if they go back, they will come back to fight you. So you better keep them here, feed them and give them shelter and a job or whatever. So if he sees somebody praying really well, he used to free him. And people came to him and said, "They're only doing it in front of you. When you are away, they're just messing with things and they don't care." He said, "Whoever tried to cheat me by pleasing Allah Azza wa Jal, I will be happy to be cheated." So if he's cheating me, that is praying more or fasting or giving charity, to cheat me in front of me, it's okay, I accept to be cheated. But he might do it again and again and get him used to it. The Sahaba used to say, we used to become Muslim for the sake of the goat and sheep. And it's a matter of time when Allah Azza wa Jalla and His Messenger become more loved to us than ourselves. So this is the way Islam is. That accept from them La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, even if they are cheating, because you don't know what will happen next. Like we had when we were in Lincoln, we had somebody became Muslim because he wanted to marry a Morocco lady. I said I accepted from him, but I said it doesn't work. You can't become Muslim to marry her. So you need to become Muslim of your own to please Allah Azza wa Jal. And then the time passed, and he started coming to our study circle on Wednesdays and things. And then he went to Morocco to marry the lady. And her father, he used to go with her father to the mosque. And then he said to the people, he said, "My son-in-law know more about Islam than my own children. I'm practicing." So subhanAllah, he came to become Muslim so he could marry the lady. But mashallah, I mean, now we had somebody also want to become Muslim, and I said, "You can't become a Muslim to marry the lady." He said, "So I won't become Muslim then." Okay, if we don't become Muslim, I will not do the marriage nikah. Then he went and had the nikah became Muslim, I don't know, superficially, whatever, in Birmingham. But alhamdulillah, I mean, that benefited the whole family. The children became more strict to Islam and things. I haven't met him much since he married the lady, but I was told he went to Birmingham, became Muslim. And probably genuinely, because I don't know, I wasn't with him. When he was talking to me, he said, no, I don't want to become Muslim then. I wouldn't do the nikah if you want to become Muslim for the sake of the lady. And then Al-Harith al-Muhasabi, he said, we lost the three things: حسن الوجه مع الصيانة, وحسن القول مع الأمانة, وحسن الإخاء مع الوفاء. The people lost some of the characters that they're happy with you and they talk to you, they smile to you, but they carry on. You don't smile to people today and you curse them tomorrow. وحسن القول مع الأمانة, and you say something and you keep the trust. People trusted you. You say, I know I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, or and you'll be trusted. The people will always come back to you. Like one of the things I noticed, that you could become. I lived here for a long time now. I came here in 1996. Started the Friday in 1997. So I've been here 26 years now. But people go and come back. People go and they know this column is there. I don't know, may Allah will keep us like this. But be like the column for people, when there's wind, there's storm, whatever, they come and catch, We know that it does exist. And وحسن الإخاء مع الوفاء. You make yourself a brother to your Muslim brother. Fulfill your brotherhood. Fulfill the promise you made, and even being a brother in Islam. And Al-Razi was saying, Al-Khuluq, your high moral characters, when you see what you're doing is little, and what people are doing is high. What you're doing is little, what people are doing is really high. And Ahnaf was told how you learned the moral, high moral values, high moral characters. He said from Qais ibn Asim al-Minqari, and how high his moral values, moral characters were. When he was sitting fi dari, in his house, one of his servants came with very hot food, and she tripped and fell on his son, and his son died. So he said to her, she was so shocked, and he said to her, don't worry, you are free for the sake of Allah. So there's two things. First, she will always feel guilty if she stays there anyway, or always feel guilty because she is there. So the best way is free her, which is at that time money. Like you have a Lamborghini, or you have Honda, and then you gave it away to somebody. And Al-Karmani, he said, علامة حسن الخلق كف الأذى واحتمال المؤن. The sign that you have high moral characters is that you are forbearing and you're patient. You tolerate things, tolerate people and things. And Rasulullah said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you are not going to satisfy people by giving them money. You wouldn't have enough money to give all the people to make them happy. But let your smiling face and good characters cover them. So you can be nice to all the people, but you cannot give money to all the people. And the Nun al-Masri said, من أكثر الناس هما قال أسوأهم خلقا. He was asked, who is the one who has so much worry? He said, the one who has bad characters. Well, he worried, that guy had a fight with him. Fatih Safi was a scholar in Syria. He was, before he became a scholar, he was the big guy and was hot-blooded and things. And then he became good Muslim, and he went and learned Islam and learned Sharia and things. And then he went in the market, and there's a guy in the shop, and he came to him and said, I really want to apologize from you, because before I became good Muslim, I gave you a good beating. I said, yeah, you want me to accept the apology? hit him back. So, he used to give talks. SubhanAllah, he died last year from cancer. Very, very high, good sense of humor. And people cut all, this sense of humor of his speeches, put them on special video. If you search for him on YouTube, he's in Arabic, he's Syrian, but he teaches in Arabic. Fath Safi, his name. Yeah, Fath Safi, if you write it. He will laugh a lot, because, yeah, he went to a village, with the guy who left his wife and forced her to go out to her family's house and things, and they want him to convince him to bring his wife back, but he couldn't convince him, and they kept his wife, with her family. So he went for his Safi and spoke to somebody from a high Iraqi, and this guy opened the phone. You bring your wife back. So I came back. Then he saw him in the Dar al-Ifta, the Ministry of Religion, and he said to him, "Do you remember me?" He said, "No." He said, "I was the one." He said, "The one who you came and want me to bring my wife back. Is she back?" He said, "Yes." He said to Fath Safi, he said, "Do you know, I saw Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in my dream." He said, "Abu Lahab saw him in person and he's going to hell." So if you saw the Prophet, doesn't mean that you are a saint, because he personally approached him to take his wife back and he didn't. So the one who has a lot of worries, the one who have a lot of bad characters. Because he insulted this, insulted that, he was rude to that, he worried from everybody, And imagine if he need them and he come to them. And Wahab said, "ما تخلق عبد بخلق 40 صباحا إلا جعله." If you practice one character for 40 days, become part of you. So try to be smiling face for 40 days, try to be kind 40 days, try to be not shout 40 days. And Hassan al-Basri said, when Allah said to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَثِيَابَكَ فَطَهِّرْ, that means obviously to us, because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam always, pure and things. وَخُلُقَكَ, you improve your characters, because إن الله لا ينظر إلى أجسادكم ولا إلى صوركم ولا إلى أجسادكم ولكن ينظر إلى قلوبكم وأعمالكم. Allah doesn't look at your shape and your dress. Allah will look at your heart and your deeds. How is it? And one of the nusakh, كان لبعض النساك شاه فراها 3 قائم من فعل. So he saw one of his sheep had only 3 legs, and he said, "Who did that? Who broke the leg of that sheep?" One of his servants, he said, "Me." He said, "Why?" He said, "Because I want to make you angry all the time." And he said, "I will make the one who tempts you to do this angry. You're free." So Shaitan, who pushed him to do this, now this pious person, he was keen to angry the Shaitan, so he freed the slave. So they did exactly the opposite. And Ibrahim ibn Adham, he was asked, "When was your happy time?" He said, "Twice." He said, "One day I was sitting by the side of the road having a nap, and somebody came. He thought I was a pile of rubbish, and he urinated there, passed water on me. And the second time, I was sitting, and a man came and hit me." So I was coming to the mosque the other day, and a taxi driver, when you come from Whitney Manor Road and you turn to Whitney Lane, it's a turn suddenly and uphill. So suddenly uphill, and this guy was half the car on the street and half on the pavement. So I waited till he came out and said, "What's that?" He said, "You BSA." So he's Asian, but he insulted me. Okay, what do you want to do? So he felt that he wasn't wrong, and what he was doing was wrong, and if I wasn't really didn't pay notice, I might hit him, because it's not the thing you expect, that is, car in the middle of the road. And Uwais al-Qarni, when the children see him, used to hit him with the stones. He said, "Hey, you want to hit me with the stones? Use small stones. I don't want you to break my leg, so I stopped going to the mosque. So don't like hurt me." And a man was insulting Al-Ahnaf ibn Qais. So he said to him, "Have you finished insulting me? Because now I'm reaching my street, my my house, and if my neighbors and friends see you, it wouldn't be your best day. So say whatever you want to say, finish it, and go." And Hatam al-Asam, he was وقيل يحتمل الرجل من كل أحد قال نعم إلا من نفسه. Like you should not tolerate yourself only. You should not tolerate yourself or disobeying Allah or saying bad things. Tolerate everybody, but don't accept that you are given the green light to do things, bad things. And Ali ibn Abi Talib, he called one of his slaves 3 times, and he didn't answer him. Then he found him like relaxing. "Have you heard me?" He said, "Yes, I heard you." He said, "Why didn't you come?" He said, "Oh, I know you're not going to hit me. I'm safe." So I'm like testing him. And he said to him, "Okay, go, you are free for the sake of Allah. Free them." And Ma'ruf al-Karhi وضع مصحفه بالحفظ. So he went to have a swim in the river, left his mushaf and his clothes, and a woman came and took both. So he followed her and said, hold on, does your son read? She said, no. Does your husband read? She said, no. He said, okay, give me the mushaf, take the clothes. Okay, if nobody is going to read the mushaf, you're going to throw it away, so give it back to me. And there's thieves came and entered the house of Abi Abdullah al-Salami. Whatever they found, they took. And I went to the market, he said, and I found they were auctioning my coat. So I left it and went. He didn't stop to say, like, it's mine. Auction it. I don't want it. And Al-Jariri, he said he came to Mecca and I found Junaid. So, he was in Hajj. When he came back, he went to visit Junaid first, because he thought, I'm not going to drag me to welcome me from Hajj. So the next day, Junaid came to his house. He said, I thought, I'd save you the journey to come. He said, no, what you did was your generosity and your fadl extra. What I did is your right that I come and welcome you. And Abu Hafs سئل عن الخلق قال مختار الله عز وجل نبي. What Allah chose to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, خذ العفو وأمر بالعرف. Use forgiveness, pardon people, and ask people to do the known good. وقيل الخلق أن تكون من الناس قريبا فيما بينهم غريبا. You are with the people, but because of your high characters, you look strange person among them. I mean, I was in military hospital in Syria, and I was one of the doctors, but when if I come to the room, they just, make some changes to, so I'm the strange one, they don't want me to enter while they're in a certain condition. وقيل الخلق قبول ما يرد عليك من جفاء الخلق وقضاء الحق بلا ضجر. So you accept, if you have high manner, high characters, whatever people are angry with you or rude, just pass it, give it a miss, and say the truth without being bored or worried. And Abu Dhar was watching his camels, and people came and they broke the camels drinking from like a tank made of stone or something, and they broke it. And then he sat and then he lied down. They said, why you do that? He said, the Prophet ﷺ said, when you are angry, sit down. If he couldn't, still angry, lie down. So he lied down. Abu Dharr Ghifari, known to have, hot temper, he's just, we read about him downstairs once. And it's written in the Bible, in the Gospels, that Allah said, "Uzkurni hina taghdab, uzkuruka hina aghdab." Remember me when you are angry. I remember you when you are angry. When Allah angry. If you are angry, you're not going to have Allah Azza wa Jal. But when Allah angry, and you've done something really bad, then you are in trouble. And the lady said to Malik ibn Dinar, "You hypocrite." He said, "Oh, that's a name. People forgot about me. This is one of my names." I was in a group of doctors meeting and things, and one of them stood up, Dr. Ghulam is the hypocrite, and things. I was with my son, Narbada. Were you there?
I remember that.
So I walked out.
When we had election for...
Yeah. I just stood and walked out. I don't want to answer things. 10 years later, the guy apologized. And I didn't know that. I wouldn't mention the story if I noticed you. So I didn't actually, I shouldn't say it, but yeah. Anyway, I'm not saying names. But I was told, you're hypocrite. And it's not me, but my son lost his trust in. He never came towards that.
It was unfortunate because
Yeah.
people, they are professors and senior consultants.
Yeah, and he never turned his face to, and he established his own organization, the Center of Islam and Medicine, and he published leaflet and things. Could have been done under that organization, but that switched him off totally. When I took my daughter, she was also pharmacist, and half the committee were asleep. So she wasn't interested either. So just sometimes, just little bit of the wrong word or the wrong, you could not hurt the person himself. You could hit collateral damage. You cause collateral damage. People, you just. And Luqman said to his son, I think you need to go now. Maybe in half an hour. Just to finish this very quickly. Then the sign that you have high characters, moral values, you're forbearing when you are angry, and you are brave in the war, and you are the brother when people need you. So you are there, and they find you there. And Musa said to Allah Azza wa Jal, "Oh Allah Azza wa Jal, make people not say about me things which I don't have, like invent lies about me." And Allah Azza wa Jal said, "I couldn't do it for myself." No, I didn't do it for myself. People say Allah has son, and Allah is letting them off. So I said, I didn't do it for myself, to do it for you. And he was, Harithi had a very bad slave. He said, "Why you keep him?" He said, "Because I want to train myself to be forbearing." It's just, I'm patient with him, so I'm still okay and good. And وَأَسْبَغَ عَلَيْكُمْ نِعَمَهُ ظَاهِرَةً وَبَاطِنًا, in the Quran, Allah gave you the good characters and the purity of akhlaq, purity of characters, the best appearance and the best characters. And Al-Fudayl said, if I have a person who is bad, لا يسحبني فأجر حسن الخلق أحب إلي أن يسحبني عابد سيء الخلق. That if I have somebody who's not really practicing, but his moral character is good, it's better for me to have somebody who have practicing a lot, but his bad characters. So I prefer the one who is not really practicing. But when I got married, many people want to marry somebody who's already going to the mosque, doing this, doing that. But I said, no, I want to marry somebody who's actually prepared to be good and this and this. Alhamdulillah, I wasn't disappointed. And I know people married somebody who's really practicing and ended in divorce. And they were friends to us, just subhanallah. So don't worry about it. Could be good characters, but she's not practicing as such. Better than one who's practicing. We went to see somebody here near, I don't want to say the city, very high characters, very good. No, no, not high characters. Practicing a lot, and was fighting for the university when they said you have to put short sleeves in medical school, and she was fighting to have long sleeves. Um, and this and this. And when my son went to get engaged to her, had no respect at all to me or my wife or my son. And then he didn't put the ring. He just he gave her the she didn't allow him to put the ring anyway. So she took the ring, and next day I don't want her. So I phoned her father, and he said, I noticed he wouldn't carry on, but I didn't think it would be so quick. So my son couldn't stand the bad characters. Yes, he pray and hijab and this, but bad characters, they no respect, no value, no, some just run away. The next day, run away. And this, I'd say this, Ibrahim Nadam. So Kharij al-Barari, somebody saw him in the countryside, and he said to him, where is the buildings? Where is the Amran? The real place you stay in? And he showed him the cemetery. That's the real. And he hit him so hard that his skin appeared, his head appeared. And then he went to the city. How did this Ibrahim ibn Adam, you hit him? And he came to him, he said, he went to apologize. He said, don't worry, when you hit me, I asked Allah for you to be given a Jannah, to go to Jannah. And because when you hit me, you're not going to be rewarded for that, because you did something bad. So I ask Allah to reward you. Probably take it as a habit. If you get clash with your wife or children or something, pray for them. And Allah forgive them and give them. That's actually work. It works, always works. And this one is nice. So here's somebody invited Abu Uthman al-Hiri to meal. And when he came to town, I said, oh, I'm sorry, I can't have you today. Come invite you a different day. Then he invited him again the second time, and the third time, and the fourth time. And Abu Uthman just go. Yeah. The feast cancelled. And he goes, and he said, I was just testing you. See, really patient, forbearing. You have high characters. He said, you're not testing correctly. He said, that's the characters of the dog. You show him the meat and he comes, and you don't give him the meat, he goes. You show him the meat again, he comes again. You hide the meat, he goes. You show him the meat the third time, he doesn't get angry. So this is the behavior of a dog. Don't praise me for that. You need even higher characters. And Abu Uthman, he was going, passing in a road, and they threw hot ash on him. He said, Alhamdulillah, it wasn't fire. Alhamdulillah, it wasn't bad. Fire would be really a problem, And here, Abdullah Khayyat, as Majusi, used to come to him and buy dress for him, and they give him false, fake food and money. And he take it. And then he was away, and his son was in the shop. So this guy came and said, that's fake money. I wouldn't take it. I gave him genuine money. So his father came. So this guy was trying to give me. He said, he's been giving me fake money for the last so much, and I throw it in the well. I don't want people to use it. I know. So I was forbearing for a long time. And I said, the good characters that whoever stand behind next to you in the salah, right or left, I don't mind. We had, and probably, yeah, we finished. I have a friend in medical school, and medical student we were, and he said he went with his friend. He tried to drag him to pray in the mosque, and he went, and the mosque was so full that when they made ruku', his head became between the legs of the one in front of him. I wouldn't pray here, my head. So And سئل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, what's the شؤم, the one who bad news? He said, the one who have bad characters. He's bad news. So they don't want to be next to him. And Abu Hurairah said, and Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم refused to curse people. He said, إنما بعثت رحمة. I've been sent as a mercy to mankind. I'm not sent to curse people, send them to hellfire. Whatever they do, the Prophet, even Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Abi Salul, he was the top of the hypocrite, and he insulted the wife of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and then he gave him his shirt. And he went down to the grave and he received him and he prayed for him. Even Umar stood between the Prophet ﷺ and the body of Abdullah ibn Abi Salul. He doesn't want them to pray on him. He said, I was given the choice. And then Allah Azza wa Jalla said, لا لا تصلي على أحد مات منهم أبدا وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. I see how I am, inshallah, after the operation. I can't drive for 6 weeks. So for some, but we'll be on Zoom, inshallah. I'll keep you informed, inshallah, what will be